Hey, what's up everyone and welcome to RC Retro. In this episode, we're taking a look at this Tamiya Lancia Delta Integrale, which is based on the TT02 chassis. Now, before we go any further, I just want to address the pronunciation, because in one of my prior episodes, I talked about how I went to different YouTube channels to do research on this rally car, and even some online dedicated websites for rally, and people say it differently. Lancia, Lancia, Lancia. Regardless, I'm just going to go with Lancia. But this is a legendary rally racer, perhaps one of the most iconic, and that's facts, because in doing my research for this real-life rally racer, this car pops up over and over again in the top 10 rankings of all-time greatest rally cars. And so my plan was to build this and then source one of those Tamiya factory done bodies to put on it, because the stickering for this is just a pain in the butt. There's a lot of panels of decals that have to be lined up perfectly to stretch across the side of the car. And so Mr. Impatient, Mr. Hot in the Pants, decided to do this instead. Get a very similar non-Tamiya body. This is a killer body that I found and threw on this TT02 chassis. I took the Tamiya body, the stickers, and moved them on to recoup some of my money. And it looks absolutely phenomenal. And to get this body to fit, I actually had to widen the wheels on here using the bigger outdrives. I'm showing you an image of that. And then also these fake plastic brake discs that have the hex on it, I had to use the ones with the wider hex just to extend it out to fill out this body. I guess this body is wider than the Tamiya one. But anyways, looked great. And then I was looking at it over the course of a couple days. I'm looking at some pictures online, comparing it, because something didn't sit right with me. And that's the coloring on here. That's right, I'm nitpicking. I'm really nitpicking. But the blue on here is a little too blue. And the blue on the Delta Integrale was a little bit lighter. I'm not going to say baby blue, but definitely a little bit lighter. So if you watch my videos, actually I say my latest videos, on a buying spree, I was able to finally source a body part set, finished body, for the Lancia Delta Integrale 51199. And so I'm going to take this out of the bag momentarily, and you can see the coloring side by side. But what's also very interesting is that Tamiya obviously thinks this is a legendary, one of the most iconic rally racers, because they have released this body on a number of different chassis. And when I was on Tamiya base looking at it, I was like, wow, that's pretty impressive, the number of chassis that they released this body on. And I'm not just talking about just the body, I'm talking about the whole body with racing livery. I know Tamiya uses a lot of their bodies with different paint schemes, like, I don't know, the Sand Scorcher, the Blitzer Beetle, the Monster Beetle. It's the Volkswagen body, and then they have it on a lot of the M chassis as well. But they are all different colors and all different, stickering and everything. But nope, not this one. It's on a number of chassis. So let's go through and see. So the first kit to use the Lancia Delta Integrale body was in 1992. It was based on a TA01 chassis, and that was kit number 58117. Then in 2000, they released it again on the TG10 or TG10 MK1, which was kit number 44029, which was a gas or nitro powered chassis. Then in 2005, it was released on the TT01 chassis, which is kit number 58342, and that came with a factory finished body. Then in 2009, they released it on the DF03RA, standing for Rally, which is kit number 58446. Then again in 2010, they released it on the TT01 Type ES, chassis, which was kit number 46608, which was an expert built kit that came with the radio. Then in 2013, they released this body again on the XV01 chassis, which was kit number 58569. A few months later in 2013, it was released on the TT02 chassis, which is kit number 58570, which is the one I have here. And then right around that time, again on the TT02 chassis, kit number 57858 was another expert built series with the radio. So Tamiya used this body on 5 different chassis and altogether 8 different kits. Pretty impressive. A lot of respect for the Lancia Delta Integrale. So now I'm going to get this out of the packaging, do a side-by-side comparison for you to see, and then get this mounted up on the TT02 chassis. This is a short video, but I just felt like I had to showcase this car in my collection. So let's get to it. All right, so right off the bat you could see that this is definitely a lighter blue than over here, and that side by side this one is definitely a little wider. If we turn it sideways and line up the back ends, I don't know if it's hard, you could definitely see right over here where my finger is that the body is wider as well. Just turn these back like this. Okay, but both are stickered to perfection. I really like on this one is you have the grill, like the grate right over here and over here, and then there's also actual windshield wipers on the outside over here. That's pretty neat. Also, the grills are a little different. I do like the grill on the Tamiya body. It's more texturized than the one on here. The light buckets, they both have the realistic light buckets on here. Yeah, pretty nifty. Now, what else do I notice? Well, I'm going to take this one out of the picture for a second. If you're looking straight down, you'll notice that this is on a slant. If I lift it up and you look into the car, you see the back of the car in here? It's almost like the whole body is warped a little bit and twisted. So if I turn it over and look, yeah, check that out. It's like the whole car is like front, like twisted a little bit, then it's straightened out. See? I guess that's just from years of sitting in the bag, maybe on a shelf somewhere, or maybe something was on top of it and it just kind of, I don't know, the plastic just kind of, I don't know, just for a long period of time. Maybe something was on it, pushing down on the body. I don't know. I mean, this came from overseas and this is definitely old and I don't know how it was stored. I mean, as far as the stickers, nothing is bubbling. As far as the paint, nothing is chipping. Everything is done to perfection on here, except the body is a little twisted. So I don't even know if I want to use this now. I mean, I guess once you put it on and you put the body clips on, it'll straighten out, I'm assuming. I don't know, I guess we could try. If worst comes to worst, if it doesn't, just put the other body back on. But you could even see over here, the side is like pushed in a little bit. It should be like more out, and then, I don't know. Let's go put this body on and see. Well, the Tamiya Lancia Delta Integrale body is all mounted up, and I think it looks pretty good. You know, giving this car the once over, as far as the stickering, there are no imperfections, no bubbling, and everything is lined up perfectly. Now, to get this body mounted, I had to swap out the wide hexes in the rear to the smaller hexes. And I'm showing you an image where you could see as well. And you can see that the axles in the rear were just a little bit longer. And that was to have a little bit more thread going through those wider or bigger hexes in the rear to accommodate the wider killer body that was on there. But now I switched back to the smaller hexes. And then I also had to swap around the rear body posts from one side to the other. And that's because when you go onto Tamiya base and put this number in, 51199, it says that it's compatible with the TT01 chassis. So the dimples in the rear were not lining up with the body post. So I had to actually go up about 3 millimeters above where the dimples were and just mark that off with a Sharpie and ream there. And then now the body sits fine. Now that the body's on, that warp look to it isn't as bad. Starting from the front, it's still not perfect, but it's much better. And then when you also look through the front windshield to the back, it's more or less straight. So that's been resolved. However, I think where the issue is in the front corners, the rear corners, and on both sides. And if you look at it from the side, it looks like the wheel arches are not lined up. Like there's more over here than over here. But that's just because the front bumper area is actually warped and curled in. And if you were to take your finger and move it outwards, then the wheel arches would look much better. Same thing in the rear. When you're looking at it, everything is lined up, but this corner is kind of curled in as well. And then when you're looking head on from one side to the other, you'll notice that this side is, I guess, normal, flares out a little bit, but this other side kind of dips in. I was thinking about maybe putting some foam on the side of the chassis to push it out. I don't know if that's going to look the greatest. So I don't know. Let me know what you think. Tamiya body, killer body. But for right now, I'm just going to leave it with the Tamiya body on there. And if you have any ideas of how I could fix this body and get the front to not curl in, maybe hit it with a heat gun and push it out. Same thing with the rear, same thing with the side. Let me know. If you have any ideas that could help me out, I'd greatly appreciate it. So drop me some comments. Show me some love. All right, that's just about it for this video. Thank you so much for your support. I'll see you all in my next. Take care.
Let's go, let's go.